Welcome in, everybody. It's time for Cardinal Insider Week number 5. That seems weird to see, Coach, but we're halfway through the season.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it's going. I mean, we had homecoming already. It's like that's done, and in 3.5 weeks we're starting playoffs, and yeah, it's really flying by. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I mean, it's been fun. But holy cow, it's like it's a snap and it's gone. So things are going. Things are moving.
They are.
Things are moving quickly. It doesn't always feel like that on a Monday. Today's a Monday. I didn't feel today move very fast, but the weeks are going by.
Well, and I feel like that might have had something to do with the fact that it was homecoming last week, and with all the activities and all the fun and chaos that goes along with it, I think the weekend maybe could have been another day or two longer to recuperate from everything that happened.
Yeah, there's a lot
of
chaos.
Yes.
I was say fun with a lot of chaos.
The kids had fun.
It was
saw
good.
The chaos; they had the fun. Speaking of chaos, we had a little bit of that to start the game before we even opened the gates out there. It was reminiscent of a couple years ago when we ended up playing homecoming on a Monday Night Football, and it was reminiscent of the last time I think we played Watertown-Mayer at home. We also had a lightning delay. This one, thankfully, was right at the beginning of the game, and we were still able to kick off at 7. But talk a little bit about that added stuff that gets thrown in there all of a sudden.
Yeah, I didn't know they didn't have the gates open. We don't know that stuff. But we talked to our kids earlier in the week that, hey, you may have some adversity for this game, which is okay. That, there could be, lightning at some point in time, maybe to start the game, maybe during the game, maybe a longer halftime. And we always have a meeting before the game starts. We talk to our kids, okay, we're going to have the meeting right now, but if lightning strikes, maybe we have to, sit around for 30 minutes before we start stretching. And then we just went through kind of all the scenarios, like maybe halftime would be longer. Looks like we got like an hour and a half time frame right now, and we'll get warmed up, and maybe halftime's going to have to be 45 minutes or something like that. So we just told me, you got to be mature, and if there's a delay, you got to stay ready to go and locked in. And our kids seem fine with it. It helps. I think we've had it a couple times. On 2023, we actually had to stop the game, or we didn't stop the game. We never started the game. We played on Monday night, and then, like you said, a couple years ago, that was I think 2021 against Watertown. We had that lightning delay, but yeah, our kids did a good job. I mean, and it didn't really affect us because we were able to get out there on time. We stretched inside, but yeah, just trying to get their mindset. The funny thing is, I was, it happened like the first Monday night NFL game, and they were talking about it, and I think it was the Patriots. They talked about how they practiced delays. Like they would go out and practice for a while. They'd leave practice, come back in 30 minutes. So in case that happens in the game, how they prepared for that. So, I mean, it was kind of cool. And we kind of put it on our radar when I heard that. It's like, oh, maybe we got to talk to our kids about this stuff. And we did. And kids were great. They were ready to go.
They were, and it was kind of a wet game. The rain mostly stopped for the game. There were some periods
first quarter it
rained. Yeah. It was some downpours and a little bit of mist, but I feel like by halftime, for the most part, it was done. But the field was plenty wet out there. You could tell on the, I'd say, between about the 25 and the 45 on the south side of the field seemed to be where most of the action was happening, based on the amount of mud that you were seeing coming through the turf out there. Talk a little bit about the game and how we ended up coming out with it. Such a nice win.
You analyzed that much that you knew exactly where the wet spots and the muddy spot. I thought the whole field was muddy.
Well,
wet.
When you're watching it from the press box, and it seemed a lot of the action, just based on where teams were in the quarter, it was down on that end.
It helped that it didn't rain. I mean, obviously the field was wet, the field was muddy, it was soft from the rain that we had earlier in the week, but you didn't get the rain a ton during the game, and which helps. The ball gets so wet, the kids' hands get wet, everything's so wet they have a hard time hanging on the ball. One thing we did all week, we practiced going under center the entire week. We took hardly any shotgun snaps, because a couple of years ago we got in the same situation. We really struggled just with the snaps and catching the ball. It was raining during the game so bad. So we get that taken care of. Which is going to help us later down the road. We didn't have to use it on Friday, but we may have to down the road. I thought our kids came out and played well. I mean, Watertown's big; they're physical, and we didn't think they had a ton of explosive players. But we figured their size would give us some problems. We've been rolling. I mean, our kids are playing so well right now, and we're getting on top of teams. And our defense is getting us the ball back in great field position. Our special teams is making plays. Our offense is making a ton of big plays. I mean, we're clicking right now. It's like, I mean, it's great. I don't know if we've ever had a 4-game stretch like this, how we're dominating all 3 phases of the game. Every week, we make a special teams play. Now, granted, we tried for the block this week. The punter actually dropped the ball. I don't know what happened, like came out of his hands. And so we didn't actually block the punt, but then he kicks it off the ground, which was kind of funny. But, we're making plays with that. Our defense, we got turnover jack, then we had another pick. We're getting stops, and our offense is just rolling. I mean, we ran the ball really well, I thought, on Friday, which is something that's been a focus for us. We're still getting the big plays out of receivers. We don't turn the ball over, which has been gigantic. We haven't had an interception all year. What do we have? One fumble, maybe?
I think so. And that was second or third string that was out there when the fumble happened.
It's still a fumble, Jeremy.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah. And so we've been really good at protecting the ball. Our defense is doing a really good job. I thought the first couple of drives, we weren't great. We weren't doing our job. I think our kids got a little greedy. They were going for big plays. They were going for sacks. So you just got to do your job, and things will happen. And I thought once we settled down and got that cleaned up, I thought we played pretty well. I love what we did at the end of the half. We scored, I think, 3 touchdowns in 3.5 minutes. We put Cam Morgan had like a 25-yard run, and then we used timeouts. It's like if they're going to they threw the ball, got 3 incomplete passes. It saved us. They punted, got a big play. We scored. We used our timeouts, and they had a bad punt. We got the ball back with 40 seconds left. Next play, we scored again, and then we get the ball to start the half, to start the second half. And that drive, we weren't overly happy with. I thought we were choppy. It just wasn't smooth. We wanted to come out and just be in some rhythm and drive down the field. We haven't played second halves. And the last 2 weeks, we let our defense hasn't played one snap second half yet. The last 2 weeks, we let our offense do one drive. And, we weren't great in either of those last week or this week. I mean, we scored this week, but I thought we were choppy with it. Last week, we had a penalty with it. We're going to need that. Like this week, we play Holy Family. We just not used to it. It's a different mindset. So we got to be on point. I mean, that's one of the concerns we have. We haven't played second half all year. We're going to get in a 4-quarter game, and our kids going to have the stamina to play for 4 quarters, and are we going to be able to execute for 4 quarters? So it'll be interesting. We may find out on Friday. So we'll see.